Hello guys, it is me, Parksy here, your coach of the Armaldos, back on the Season 5 DGBA channel. Today with me we have got yet again another coach, the third coach actually today. He's busy playing Minesweeper, of course. We are here with Mike. How are you, Mike?
Fine, thank you very much. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing alright. Just a bit tired like yourself, but we have, of course, brought you here to ask you a few questions while you play Minesweeper. The first question, well, I guess it's kind of a double question, is when and why did you start the Draft League format?
Wow. Funnily enough, I started the Draft League format in another league that Haz was a part of at the time, called the PIDL. And I was there for about 2 weeks at the time, and then Haz was telling me that some untrustworthy person had backed out.
I wonder who that was.
I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah, I don't
like Panksy or something.
Yeah, something like the Armadillos or something. Yeah, him.
Yeah, something like the Armar Anarifs or something.
He sucks anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's rubbish. Worst battler in the league apparently. But yeah, so I came in as your replacement, took one look at your squad, almost had some kind of brain aneurysm, messed about with it a bit.
You took like every single one and replaced it.
Yeah, I think I replaced 6 out of the 11.
I remember one of your...
I think it was 6 out of 11.
Yeah, one of your first messages... Sorry.
Yeah, is, oh god, this team, I think, isn't it?
One of your first messages to me was, I was like, oh, you didn't get rid of the Audino. He was like, oh yeah, it's just so bad I didn't even consider dropping it yet. I've just kept it in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, you never know when you might need an alternate. You never know.
It's always good to have setup fodder.
But, yeah. I mean, sometimes you need supports. I mean, I don't play that way. I think you can tell by the way some of my teams are built. Especially this season, is that I go very offense heavy.
Yeah.
It's just the style that I play, and as you can see against certain people, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I'm all in it for the fun.
Okay.
I don't like to take it too seriously.
Yeah. You should never really take it too seriously. At the end of the day, it's just a Pokemon game. So my next question is, why do you have Kartana and Primeape as your Zmons rather than something like Zeroara and maybe Archeops?
Right. Wow. Because if I just quickly get the spreadsheets up, we have the rule where to have the one Zmon under 7 points.
Yep.
And initially I drafted...
What a great Z rule. What a great Z rule. I love it, honestly.
Yeah. Make full use of it.
Yeah.
So it was either Primeape or Archeops, and at the time I did actually originally draft Persimmon, but I was the last pick, and then I didn't realise that Persimmon wasn't allowed to fight. I didn't realise it was unreleased, so I quickly switched that for Primeape. And I'd had Persimmon have the Z Crystal, and it just got transferred to Primeape. I feel like Primeape, as a Z user, is slightly more versatile than Archeops, because if I bring Archeops, it would be either probably like banded or scarfed, or even just something so that I can get rocks up and maybe be a bit more
sash.
Whereas Primeape's more going to be, I bring it to specifically counter something and maybe get a kill. Maybe something like, if I have a look at the Armaldos, maybe I want to make sure I can Oko that Hydreigon. So I bring a Z close combat, just in case you're running max attack, max defense. Or maybe your Mega Aggron would be a better example, because I'm pretty sure a Hydreigon would go down to close combat. But maybe like a Z close combat would take out your Mega Aggron, and that would be the reason why I bought Primeape. And Z Kartana was just because I know how devastating a Bloom Doom can be from Kartana. And it does have quite a wide move pool.
Especially in grassy terrain.
Yeah, grassy terrain Bloom Doom is insane. You also have Smart Strike, you have Knock Off, you have Psycho Cut. All these moves that can become a Z move. Secret Sword. I think it's Sacred Sword. I keep getting those two mixed up.
Secret Sword's the
I know they're fairly similar. And I'll be honest, I don't think there's any other mons that I would have given a Z Crystal to. Because I feel like a Zeroara Plasma Fists as a Gigavolt Havoc would probably a fair amount of damage, but I feel like the point of Plasma Fists is that secondary ability. And I think I showed partly in the match against MX3 what damage a Zeroara can do without a Z Crystal, just with that was just a normal, I think it was Life Orb.
Yeah.
Or was it Choice? No, it was Choice Band.
It did damage.
So still obviously bonus damage, but it one shot his Mega Medicham pretty.
Yeah, the only thing that I would really consider Zeroara over Kartana better as is maybe Darkinium Z Home Claws, but that's just about it. And yeah, I like.
Yeah, true.
I like Z Primeape because like if it gets a Defiant boost and if it is +2, then Fighting Z is just like it's like taking out counters even at +2 stab Fighting Z close combat. But my next question. The next question is, what do you think will be the hardest competition in this league for you? And you've already played MX3, so you can't say him.
Yeah, so I have played MX3, and he did batter me, to be fair. I didn't play my best game there. He played exceptionally well. I believe he 4-0'd me.
But he's such a good battler.
He's a very good battler. He was so unfortunate last season.
Yeah.
He just got the group of death. I mean, he came sixth overall in the rankings and didn't make playoffs. And I think I came 10th and got in as like the top of my league.
I mean, I had Cav.
Yeah, it had Cav, who obviously won. And who else did he have last season? Because he's got to things. It was. Oh no, he came bottom of his group and came 6th overall.
And that's nuts.
So he had Cav, Hughes, and who are the Commodores? He had MX Dash as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So 3 very good battlers. He came he finished 4 and 3. I finished 3 and 4 and got in.
I finished.
Which just goes to show, doesn't it?
I finished 3 wins, 1 tie, 3 losses. So I'm like the middle.
Yeah, I think you came above me on plus on like not win loss. What's it called?
Differential.
Differential. You beat me on. Yeah. I think that was because didn't you have a match against both of the guys that left, and I think I only had 1 match against them.
I didn't play any matches against the guys that left, I do think. I played Undersea
Warrior.
Because
there were 2 guys that left.
I played Undersea Warrior, but he was still active then.
Yeah, I didn't play Under, and I think I played... No, I didn't play Gengar either. I didn't play either of the guys that left. So, but yeah, MX3's a fun battler, and he's got... I think I like his team. I know, like Kaz and
me
and you and
fear me.
Yeah, it's like the guys who did the power rankings basically just didn't like it that much.
Yeah, I mean it's just because I had only 1 Stealth Rocker and speed teams.
Yeah, but you don't need Stealth Rocks necessarily. I know it's a great move, but
yeah, Mega
the power on his team.
It can just fake out and then high jump kick like Mega Medichance.
The bulk he has in Tangrowth and Mandibuzz and Steelix is ridiculous.
Anyway, this is about...
You have to... Yeah, sorry.
We're just going on into MX3's team. Okay, so what do you think will be the most fun mon to use on your team? Like, maybe diverse sets, maybe some fun tech to bring.
Oh.
Just...
Sorry, you cut out for me there.
Oh, what do you think will be the most fun Pokemon to use on your team?
What can I bring? I have some fun ideas for Araquanid.
Oh, nice.
But it depends. It has to be in the right situation. Because, for those of you that don't know, Araquanid gets Soak.
Yeah, that's a cool move.
Araquanid also gets Spiderweb, which is effectively Mean Look. Something really fun to do can be to get something like a really bulky Steel or Poison type. Soak the really bulky Steel or Poison type.
Toxic.
Spiderweb them before they realise what's going on, and then Toxic them and stall them out. Because Araquanid, it's not the bulkiest mon in the world, but it's fairly bulky. It has 92 defense, 132 special defense.
I know, it's special.
It can take some hits, especially from if you've got the right mon in against it, and it can just stall people for. And I've seen it happen. I'm not sure if I have the technical skill to pull it off, but it'd be fun to try. I've also thought about special Archeops.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which could be fun to bring. Because it does have 112 special attack, which is good on its own. Obviously not as good as its 140 physical attack.
That's like a good gimmick.
But if you look, these are some of the moves that Archeops gets that are special. So he has Ancient Power, which is Stab, you can get the boost. Has Dragon Pulse. Has Earth Power.
Yeah,
Focus Blast. Heat Wave. Hyper Beam. It's a fairly, it's a limited moveset, but there's some power in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if you have that and someone brings in, say, like, a Ferrothorn, thinking, oh, what's he going to do against a Ferrothorn? And then you bring out a Heat Wave.
And that's just going to destroy it.
Yeah. It's like going back to MX3 again, he bought his Payback. He bought Payback Tank, which I think he didn't necessarily need, but if I had a really commanding position with my Latios, rather than being sort of behind with it, then that could have been the thing that got him back in the game, which I think is really cool. No, it was Season 3. It was my first game in the league. I was playing against Coach, and I was still using your team, I think. And he had Electros, and I had absolutely nothing for Electros. So I brought Smackdown Toxapex.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, I can smack down his Electros. He's going to kill the Toxapex. Then I can bring in something to then revenge kill the Electros. Or whatever he switches into. What I didn't realise at the time was that Kocho loves Volt Turn.
Yeah, he does.
Because I think if that battle went 20 turns, I think 17 of those turns were either Volt Switch or U-Turn. And I'm pretty sure he's 6-0. So, it wasn't a great start to the league.
Yeah.
But,
So my final question for you is, do you think you will be able to make it to playoffs with this team?
That is a good question. I hope so. I really hope so, because I think I have a good team. I think in the hands of... I know full well I'm one of the better battlers. I think my skill, per se, in quote marks, is that sometimes I bring what you wouldn't expect. Like, for example, at the start of last season, I built a team for... I can't remember who I played first last season, but I spent ages prepping, did a load of work into it, and then basically just got demolished.
Yeah, you got like
The second game I had, which I think was against someone who finished quite high in the end. It might have been... No, I played Hasn't at the end. He'd already been replaced by Jake at that point. I think it was JJ.
Alright.
Giants.
No, JJ was week 1. Because I played in week 2.
Oh, was he week 1?
Believe so.
It might have been someone else then. It might have been... I'll tell you who it might have been. It might have been the Benfinians. So it might have been JP. And I just bought the same team that I bought to the first week because I didn't have time to prep. So I just bought the same team. It wasn't built for his team. It was built for a completely other team. And I managed to get a win. And I think it was like his only loss of the season.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that sometimes you don't have to prep for hours and hours. You just need to bring the unexpected, and it can tip the balance for you. Just for reference for what I said earlier as well, if you go special attack, Tim, Archeops, and if you choice specs it, Heat Waves are guaranteed OCO on Ferrothorn.
Okay, well, who has Ferrothorn, is it? Because they better watch out. I think it might be CMR, maybe?
You?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's not me.
No, you don't have. You have Aggron. Ferrothorn. Who has Ferrothorn? Oh, Ferrothorn is CMR's,
yeah.
Houston Toro.
Told you. There we go. Okay, but...
Is he even in my league? Don't even think he's in my league.
No, he's not. Because I battle you and I know all the people that we face.
God damn it.
Again! This time I'll try not to misclick my Z move, but that's going to be the end of the interview with Mike. Is there any last things you'd like to say, Mike, before we close off the video?
Hashtag blame has.
Yes.
Oh, and Cav for Season 5 champion.
Yes. That is also very, very true. Well, see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.